I learned this a long time ago, Luke, that when you coach at LSU, if you're having a good year and you win, then each subsequent weekend becomes bigger than the weekend before. I remember in '09 when we went to play Georgia, they were #1 in the country, we were #2 in the country. It was the most hyped series in the history of Georgia baseball. The games have been sold out for a month. I remember thinking, boy, it can't get any bigger than this. And then 2 weeks later, we had to go to Arkansas. We were #1 in the country, or #2 in the SEC West. And I thought, man, it can't get any bigger than this. And then the next weekend we played Florida. They were leading the SEC East. We were leading the SEC West. And I thought, man, it can't get any bigger than this. Then you got the regional, super regional, you go to the College World Series. So this is what we've come to expect at LSU, is that, you know, every series, every game is big. You know, everybody expects us to win every game. Obviously, that's an unreasonable expectation, but I don't think it's an unreasonable expectation that we're ready to play in these big games, these big weekend series. And you know, so far it's been a good year. You know, it has. I'll admit that. You know, it's been a good year. But we have a tough series this weekend. This is a program, South Carolina, that I have the ultimate respect for. Ray Tanner built an amazing program. He's handed the reins now over to Chad, and Chad's continued them. They're doing a great job. You know, they're coming off of a weekend sweep against Kentucky. They're playing good ball. I mean, I look at them and I don't see a weakness. I see a solid team offensively, a good defensive team, a very top-heavy left-handed rotation and bullpen, and they're pitching great. I think it's good. I feel like it's going to be an inter-squad game, honestly. From the way I see it, I see a team that's just a good, solid team in every phase, and I would expect that we're going to have 3 tremendous baseball games with this team. And I know that our players are excited about it. The coaches are excited about it. I'm sure our fans are going to be excited about it. And to me, this weekend demonstrates what big-time college baseball is all about.
And that's why people come to a program like LSU. Is it hard for guys to get up for every weekend for a big-time series?
You know, that phrase "get up for," you know, I mean, I just have a difficult time accepting it's hard to get up for something. When you put that uniform on, man, that's the energy that you should feel. Man, I get to be on a baseball field. I get to be at LSU. I get to wear that uniform. I get to. We're the #2 ranked team in the country. We're having a season that's right up there in the annals of the history of the great program of LSU. And if you can't get excited about playing every day, my goodness, something's wrong with you. As a youngster, you decide on which school you want to go to. And the ones that choose LSU want to be challenged. They want to play against the other best teams in the country. They want to have high expectations. They want to be under the microscope. So there should be no reason that every kid on our team is not extremely excited about this weekend.
You mentioned that they have a crop of left-handed pitchers. Have you kind of decided what you're going to do with the DH spot in that situation?
I haven't decided yet. I'm sorry. No, I've not decided.
You said second base. You said last night we'll talk about it tomorrow. So
yeah, I haven't decided yet either. Les is going to keep asking me. He's going to twist the question around like 6 different ways, trying to get me to answer it. But I haven't decided yet. I really haven't.
What's in your thought process as far as who's going to start at second?
Go ahead. Well, you might as well ask it.
That was perfect.
Okay, how's this sound? I want to put the team on the field that gives us the best chance to win.
I've got a different one. South Carolina's had a couple sweeps, and they've been swept a couple times. They've all but one of their series have ended in sweeps. Can you explain that, or how does that?
It's a hard thing to explain, but I've said this many times, and it sounds like a Yogi Berra-ism. I understand that it does. But when you're in my shoes, or you're in Chad Holbrook's shoes, or you're in any coach in the SEC shoes, they understand what I'm saying about this, okay? It's very difficult to sweep teams in this conference because the opposition is so good. But on the other hand, it's very easy to get swept in this league. You know, you lose those first 2 games, and you're playing on Sunday, trying to avoid a sweep. Man, I'm telling you, that you talk about stress. It's amazing. But at the same time, you know, it's hard to sweep things. You can't think like that, and that's why we never think like that. We just think, game on Friday. Let's lay it all out on the line on Friday. Let's try to get this one. If we're fortunate enough to win on Friday, then let's go for the series win on Saturday. If you're in the wonderful position that you've won your first 2 games, then you start thinking about a sweep. But that's the only time you can ever think that way. But I do think, let's win one so that we can avoid getting swept. And that's how we start the series.